Hi all, welcome to my lesson for Vals by Bartolome Calatayud. This is from Cuarto Piezas Faciles para Guitarra by Calatayud. So this piece is one that's going to involve using the ring finger, and this is one of the first solos that I give to my students that involves the ring finger. So before you even get started with anything, just play that ring finger and make sure that you keep your shoulder relaxed, shoulder and arm. I find that as students start to use the ring finger, the tension starts to build up, especially in the shoulder. So just play this, you might do like 20, 50 times on the ring finger by itself, focusing on that relaxation. You might do that every day before you practice this. Then you can practice the same thing, but with the thumb and ring. Can you still stay relaxed as you play? Relaxation during guitar is one of the most important things you can do. Now, once that's mastered, you're ready to start the pattern that we see a lot in Vals, which is thumb and ring on strings 1 and 6, and then index and middle on strings 2 and 3. Okay, you're going to want to practice this this right hand pattern quite a bit before you get started. Now, once that feels really good, you're ready to start the piece. And the first bit of advice that I'll give you if you want to play this piece is don't be intimidated when you look at the page. There are a lot of notes on this page, and it always looks so difficult. However, a lot of them are just open strings, and I guarantee you once you get into it, it's so much easier than how it looks. So before you play those first notes, observe that we do have a key signature, 1 sharp. So every F that we get in this piece is actually going to be F sharp. And we see that almost right away in the second measure where we have F sharp, okay? Now, as you play this, be really careful to follow the left hand fingers. So when you see a number next to a note, whether that's number 1, 2, 3, or 4, be really careful that you're following that. So just to review, index finger is finger 1, middle finger 2, ring finger 3, and pinky finger 4. Always make sure you're following that. So going from the second measure to the third measure, we get the shift to the high B with the middle finger. Make sure you can nail that every single time, because not only do you play it a whole bunch in this, that's the iconic moment of this piece. And if you do this, or if you miss the note, it just sounds like your voice just cracked, and it'll sound a little embarrassing. So practice that over and over again. Make sure you can get it 10 times in a row before you're satisfied, and just make sure that there's no hesitation when you have to do that shift. And one thing that can help with that is anytime you shift, instead of staring with your eyes at the music that you're currently playing, trust yourself on this stuff and look here instead. So you're always staring at your goal, and if you're looking ahead, your chance of hitting that goes way, way up. So anytime you shift on the guitar in the left hand, look where you need to go, not where you are. All right, once you get that, there's not a whole lot more to this piece, but a couple things that are important. One is that you always want to make sure that those bass notes are sustaining for the full measure. And this is pretty easy at the beginning where we have E. But when we get to the 5th measure, we have B. So you're going to want to make sure that that finger stays down the whole time. Again, just look at the fingering that it tells you, and that's going to make it easier. Finger 1 for B, and then 3 for F sharp. All right, one part that's a little bit difficult, and then I'm going to recommend something different from what it says, is measure 21 and 22. So what the music says to do here is to use fingers 4 and 3 to get B and D. However, that's kind of tough. That requires a lot of dexterity. So what I'm going to recommend you do is actually shift with fingers 1 and 2. So in case that's confusing, we're playing D now with the index finger, 2nd string, 3rd fret, and B is actually going to be on 3rd string, 4th fret. So you can hear that that's the same as our 2nd string open. So altogether, that's like this. that shift over and over again, and remember to always be looking ahead, and you'll nail that. But that's probably one of the harder moments of the piece. Now, one thing to think about musically is we have right at measure 32, where we just got to the end of this bass melody, we have a rallentando, which is basically the same as ritardando. So we're slowing down in the middle of the piece, and you want to get to almost a stop there. And then you're right back in time, a tempo. And then from there, you're good to go on to the end. Now, at the very end, we have some harmonics. And so I like to do a little ritardando before that. So let's start a little bit before. I'll start at measure 41. Start it here, and then get each harmonic at the end there at a slower speed. All right, that's all I have to say for Vals by Calatayud. I think you're ready to go. Thanks for watching.